One of Trump's executive orders of the weekend was to stop the eviction crisis from happening. And thank God, because we've been talking about it now for weeks and months that this is gonna happen. And so many people, once the moratorium lapsed, are gonna be thrown out of their apartments and some are gonna lose their homes. But now we have this executive order, which doesn't actually stop that from happening. But it sounded like it did when he announced it. The new measure only states that, quote, the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Director of the CDC shall consider whether any measures temporarily halting residential evictions of any tenants for failure to pay rent are reasonably necessary to prevent the further spread of COVID-19. So it doesn't stop them from being evicted. It probably won't ever, because they have to look into it and figure it out. And even the stated goal there is just to stop the spread of COVID from people being evicted, not to stop people from being evicted by the millions.
Right.
It does literally nothing at this point.
Yeah, at this rate, it'll be like, oh, well, we had to quarantine you. Here, come to this tent city. Oops, your home doesn't exist anymore. Well, you had to quarantine anyway. So, hey, what do you want us to do? We're trying to stop a virus and keep people in their tents.
Yeah.
New tents. Like honestly, at that point, that's essentially what they're saying. They're like, yeah, we'll maybe save your home if we need to, if it helps the health plan that we don't have.
Yeah. Remember the health plan was supposed to come in 2 weeks, he said, like 3 weeks ago? Yeah, nobody's even asking about this, and they won't. Okay, so you brought up the tent cities. Well, to establish those tent cities, you're gonna need money. To help out those who will be or could be evicted, you need money, no matter what form the help comes in. So let's turn now to the money that the executive order sets aside to help people. Oh wait, there's none. It doesn't set aside any money. There's no funds because there's no plan, because this is all a sham. It does nothing to stop the eviction crisis from going forward, but it does generate a news cycle that makes it seem as if the president was trying to do that. It's convenient for appearances, not convenient if you can't pay your rent. And because his enhanced unemployment extension also effectively isn't going to reach almost anyone, you're probably gonna face that issue. And so what we're hoping for at this point, I guess, is what we were hoping for before he signed that executive order, that somehow the Senate is going to come to some sort of agreement and actually prioritize it. But this sends a pretty strong signal, I think, from Trump to Senate Republicans that this shouldn't be a priority, that stopping people from being evicted isn't one of his priorities and it shouldn't be one of theirs.
Absolutely, and also the fact that Trump gets to be the fake hero in this sense and not congressional Republicans also says a lot about the party. It says that Trump gets to take the glory and all the Republicans are willing to give him that, of course, because this is the party of Trump and they've hitched their horse to this, I don't know, just sort of sedentary pile of horse, you know what? And that's it. But like, if I'm in Congress and I'm a Republican, there's part of me that's like, no, we should get the glory for striking some kind of deal. Let's like come up with even if it's bad. You can get some Democrats to go along with a bad deal. Come on, but it would save my behind come November. It's gonna save me with my voters and my constituents. But that's not the case here. Once again, we're doing everything we can to overinflate this president, and we'll see what happens.
Exactly. There's a couple of others. The one about deferring student loan debt payments. So far, it seems like it will actually do what it's pitched as doing for a couple of months. It doesn't actually cancel or anything like that. And good luck in a few months when you have to pay all that extra money. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but it at least does actually defer it. Another deferral you have is the payroll tax cut. So the payroll tax measure that Trump signed Saturday doesn't actually reduce the payroll taxes. So don't buy that if that's what they're trying to sell you. It defers the due date for the portion of those taxes paid by employees, 6.2% for Social Security and 1.45% for Medicare, until December 31st. So they're pitching it as huge economic stimulus. You know what? It's gonna put more money in workers' pockets. But if you've been paying attention to the beginning of this, you'll know that there's multiple reasons that that's not going to happen. For one thing, you're still almost certainly gonna have to pay that. So you better start saving. You know how much? The amount that they're deferring. So if you spend it now, what are you gonna do come December 31st? And that's if it's even passed on to you, because there's no guarantee the businesses are gonna do that, because the businesses have to pay it at some point. So they're likely, with all of this uncertainty, just hold on to it anyway. This is such a ridiculous sham. It is this facade of caring, a facade of stepping in and being the strong man. Like the strong man is at least supposed to do things, horrible, terrible things, but he's supposed to do things. This strong man can't even do it. He just says he's doing things and it's not actually there at all.
Yeah, I mean, and the point is that they already got their money. Mnuchin, their friends, this administration, all the cronies already got their money. They already got their stimulus. They already got their bailouts. They already got their tax breaks from this crisis. They have made money off of us. That millionaires have become only richer. Let's never forget that. Like, and if anyone tells you that we should put this behind us, because this is not going anywhere, this will continue through November, through the election. We need to come out of this. We're gonna come out of this with a lot of, hey, gotta tighten the purse strings, can't have Medicare for all, can't have a Green New Deal, can't have any of these things that will save people and the planet and keep people in their homes. You can't have an eviction, a moratorium, because then the housing market won't be able to flourish and do all the wonderful things it does, like prey on poor people, right? And make others rich. Like, no. No matter what happens in November, we need a new deal. We need a new deal. We need to approach this from a people-centered perspective. And I also think, man, get these fools to pay back the money that they stole. Like F that we just have to keep on moving on. Where's the accountability? I wanna know, where did our money actually go? Where did our taxes, where did they actually go? And how can we redirect them?
Mnuchin has it. He's handing it out. How much of it? What percent? I have no idea.
I mean, come on, at least like Shake Shack for life for all Americans.
Exactly.
Can you at least do that?
Imagine executive order. Everyone eats for free at Shake Shack. Yeah, and we have no idea, and we'll probably never know. I mean, especially look, if he gets reelected, then no, those trillions of dollars are just gone. Forget about it. You're never gonna find out. So anyway, yeah, lots of issues with that, obviously, and I hate the presentation of it as actually caring about any of these, that it has anything to do with coronavirus or the eviction crisis. And it's so stupid too. I mean, sort of a version of what you were saying about if they really wanted to win. I saw a poll that a third of renters can't afford to pay their next rent payment. And now their landlords are going to be legally allowed to evict them. And so they're going to. And that is going to happen. Like, you can try to make a good campaign ad, but if millions of people a week are being thrown out of their homes, I feel like that's gonna hurt you in the election, or at least it should. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Apparently you can kill 160,000 people and it cuts you by 2 points maybe. I don't know. But anyway, all these executive orders, it's not just that they don't do anything, and it's not just that they're probably illegal. It's also that it's time here on the Damage Report to do what we always do, which is pointlessly point out hypocrisy. Here's a video mashup of Trump talking about Obama's executive orders.
Obama signs his executive orders all day long because he can't get along with anybody. It's not the way it's supposed to work, as you understand. He doesn't work the system. That's why he signs executive orders all the time, because he can't get his own people to go along. So he signs executive orders. And then everybody sues, and you're not supposed to be doing that.
He just goes out and signs, like last time, executive orders. In theory, you're supposed to, the old-fashioned way, get everybody into a room and get something that people agree on.
The whole concept of executive order, it's not the way the country's supposed to be run. You're supposed to go through Congress and make a deal and go and talk to people and get the guys in there. And whether you're Republican or Democrat, you're supposed to all get together and you're supposed to make a deal.
You're supposed to make a deal. So not only did he not get everyone in a room, did he not get the guys together, but he has so failed us that we literally can't get the guys together. They're not allowed to be in a room together.
Yeah, it's also just jealousy. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Trump not wanting to do the thing that says executive on it.
Exactly.
Like, if it's executive, he's doing it, he wants to do it. And oh man, the idea that this president is a deal maker, once again, it's like your 3-year-old, like, diapers full of poo, Even though it can totally go to the bathroom on its own, although this president, we don't know, hashtag show me the undies.
Oh my God.
But like threatening you, like, no, I don't want to eat my peas. Like that's, I mean, like what kind of a negotiator are we talking about? I really want to see the movie The Negotiator redone with Trump just being like, fine, blow yourself up, I don't care. I didn't even like him anyway.
Oh God. Anyway, look, in the long run, it's not, none of this is gonna matter because again, it doesn't actually do anything. But I mean, it's a signal to us that maybe he's getting in the mood for executive orders. I mean, what else is gonna come? Let's say he loses. Like we were talking about this last week. Everybody's like mentally, I can't speak for everybody, but I will anyway. Everybody's like November 3rd, we could be saved. We could be saved. Yeah, but he's still gonna be president for a couple months. Like you don't think he's gonna be passing executive orders? There was news today, he's likely to cut the methane regulations from the Obama era this week. Why? Because he can. He can just do it.
Why not?
He's gonna do so much damage in those last couple months. There is going to be poo smeared.
Oh yeah. We'll start like 7 wars. Lame duck Trump will be the scariest Trump ever. Remember how Obama was kind of like the coolest version of himself? When he knew he was going out and was like, all right, cool, pardoning Chelsea Manning, that was dope, all these like cool things. Trump will be the absolute opposite of that. Lame duck Trump, starting the hot wars left and right.
Exactly, the worst duck.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.